All right, let's get in Asaduddin Owaisi, AIMIM chief. He's also a petitioner in his party where the Waqf law is concerned. Appreciate you taking the time off and joining us, Mr. Owaisi. My first question. Now, there has been an injunction, at least, on some of the most contentious provisions of the law. Do you see now, at least the Supreme Court has seen merit in what petitioners like you have appealed for?
Well, the Honorable Supreme Court have given an interim relief on the lines of not to constitute the Central Waqf Council and the State Waqf Board, and that all Waqf properties which are registered, notified, and also Waqf by user will not be deleted. Now, this is subject to the final order that is uploaded, or I'm yet to see, but this is what I had understood. But I would be very cautious in saying this, that our legal battle against this black and unconstitutional act continues. And we have consistently opposed all these amendments in the Joint Working Committee of the Parliament Committee and in the Parliament when the Parliament took the deliberation voting on this bill. So the legal battle continues. There are many provisions, many amended sections in this act which are very dangerous and which will weaken and destroy the Waqf board. So that is why it's an interim relief, and we have to continue with our legal battle, continue with our public protest against this black and unconstitutional law, which violates freedom of religion, it violates fundamental rights, and that is why I feel that the legal battle and the public protest will continue.
But Mr. Owaisi, what you call as an interim relief for you is also being read as a possible interim setback for the government. But the top court did not stay the law with what you had appealed for. You wanted the law to be struck down. The top court has seen merit in some of the provisions of the law. From here on, do you at least admit now that your legal fight and other petitioners' legal fight will have to be limited to the provisions of the law now, not the law itself?
We don't know. The Supreme Court has given dates now. We don't know what will happen on those dates, but we'll have to wait and see. But the legal battle against this act on behalf of the petitioners, on behalf of All India Muslim Personal Law Board, will continue. There are, for just now, as I've told you, that there are many provisions. For example, this section which says that you cannot give a property to a Waqf unless until you're a practicing Muslim for 5 years. Now, look at the stupidity of this amendment. Who will classify or give a judgment that I'm a practicing Muslim, especially if one happens to be a woman? Secondly, the application of Limitation Act from today, Waqf Board would be losing numerous number of Waqf properties because the encroachers will become owners now. And the most unfortunate part is that the section 2, wherein the trust will not be Waqf anymore. So this directly benefits from today the richest man in India who had built his palatial house on a Khoja orphanage. He will become the owner now. We will be losing the Waqf evacuee properties, especially in Punjab and Haryana, which are source of great revenue to those Waqf boards. They will be under government control, government custodian. The Waqf board will not be the owner. The government of India, central government, will be making rules which will be violative of federalism. The collector can still issue an order to a mutawalli telling him to do something un-Islamic or something stupid, which will again, if he doesn't accept, he can be sentenced for 6 months. There are many provisions, in this bill, and then the time is ticking to register all Waqf properties on the portal. If you don't register in 6 months, then it will not be Waqf. So there are many sections in this law of amended law of Waqf, which are very grievous and harmful, not only to the constitution of our country, but also to the Waqf board itself, Waqf properties itself.
So there's an understanding right now, Mr. Owaisi, by the petitioners that they'll have to go provision by provision because of all the contentious, the other provisions that you have just, recalled. 2 is in what the top court or the Supreme Court has seen merit in and has, you can say a stay or there's an injunction on those two provisions. But the fight will now from here on legally will be provision by provision, because the government's clear. They see merit in the act. They also say very clearly that some of the provisions are for the better.
Well, when the final, arguments will start from the 5 petitioners who are against this law, then everything would be argued in detail in front of the Honorable Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court decides to hear and lays down a timetable or whatever it is. But as far as the All India Muslim Personal Law Board is concerned and the Muslim community at large is concerned, they have rejected this law. We have called it an attack on our religion. We have called it an attack on the Constitution. It's a direct attack on the fundamental rights, Article 14, 15, 25, and 26. And we feel that we are of the strong opinion that this law is not brought in to save Waqf properties or to increase their revenue or to get rid of encroachers, but it is brought in to do the opposite, to weaken all the Waqf properties.
Mr. Owaisi, you've debated on it in Parliament as well, and this one point was very contentious in Parliament where the centre raised it up. The centre also raised this in court, where, they say the lack of representations, especially about entire villages being claimed as Waqf property to justify these amendments. That is what the centre claims. What is your response now to the concerns of what is deemed by many as widespread and the question over the legitimacy of the Waqf law?
Now, look at the hypocrisy of the government. You say in one breath that we want to save Waqf properties, we want to increase the revenue. And what you're doing right now, you're rewarding the encroachers. By applying the Limitation Act, you are rewarding the encroachers by making them the owners of the Waqf property. Secondly, about this wrong example of villages being classified as Waqf. I happen to be a member of that joint working committee, and wherein in media it was widely discussed about some village in Tamil Nadu. But when the Tamil Nadu government representative came to this joint working committee and explained to all the members of the committee, and everyone was happy and shocked to hear that how it was portrayed by BJP in the media. It is no more an issue. That issue has been solved by the Tamil Nadu government. Now, as far as the Kerala example is concerned, I want the BJP to tell those people who are now very upset that what is the history of that property? Is that property a Waqf property or not? And how will this law help them? Please tell them, explain to them. You are unnecessarily trying to create conflicts between religions. That is your whole intention. And that is why the truth has come out, and people will see that BJP is playing with their minds and unnecessarily trying to create conflicts everywhere.
Mr. Owaisi, appreciate you taking the time out and speaking with us. Thank you there. You're a petitioner in this case. You say it's interim relief, but you are also right. It is interim only till the 5th of May when the next hearing comes in, where two contentious provisions of the Waqf law have, there's an injunction on that. You could say they've been stayed or their status quo till now. A relative win for the petitioners, but it's only interim.